Okay. Okay. Oh, well, great. I guess we will get started. I think most of you knows me. I'm Ada. So, I sort of started Eva. Hi. Yeah. And, so this is our first in-person event, and thank you everyone to come over on a rainy evening. So just a very brief introduction of who we are and what we do. So we are, admission consulting and tutorial, but we want to do it like slightly differently. That we don't want to do it very traditionally, just like any other brands, right? So that's why we have Owen, our AI expert. Like we want to make sure that our kids, our teaching methodologies, and also like our consultancy is actually going to be like future-proof and is connected with AI. So we have Owen here in person, and then we also have Miss Alice, which is one of our admission consultant and tutors, English tutor. So she have over 20 years of experience in tutorial and also like advising like numerous students to good universities, and she's also an interviewer for universities. So first, and Owen, I'll let you to introduce yourself, and Owen will give us his presentation on AI first. How is it going to disrupt admissions, and then Ms. Alice is going to share her view on what's in this trade war, AI with all these happening, what is it going to be? Then I have a few panel questions, and let's see what the time is like. And we are happy to open the floor for questions for all you guys. Okay, I'll pass it to you, Owen.
Thanks, Ada. So today our topic is about AI disruption to elite admission specifically. So we're going to talk about how to ride on the AI wave. So this is the agenda of today. So the first thing is about me. So I'll do a brief intro about myself as first, and then we'll talk about this stuff. So the first thing is that if AI is a bubble or not, and so the main thing is that after all that we will talk about why we think that the headline is hedging the risk as a human, because we think human as a race is a risk now basically. And the second thing we're going to talk about is that how to win in the AI era as a parent and also as the new generation. And the third thing we're going to talk about is how to position ourselves in the new generation. So either geographically, so like because there's a Trump thing with Harvard, they have a beef in between there. So geographically, where should we position ourselves, and also the direction, like for education-wise or job market-wise, what is less replaceable in the AI era. So this is about myself first. So I'll consider myself as a slasher. So I'm the head of AI application in eFusion Capital. So we are a tech-focused hedge fund focusing on the tech stocks basically. So we do AI stock analysis, and then we do like trading, we do like manage the account stuff. And I'm also the founder and CTO of an AI startup myself. So we got a startup in HKSTP. And I'm also a graduate of Applied AI curriculum, which is a rather new curriculum because I'm the second cohort of that bachelor. So it is a rather new thing to the whole world, I guess, because I think my university is one of the first universities to adapt AI in the bachelor degree basically. So most of them originally are in masters, but now we have that in bachelor as well. And I also got some scholarship and competition, which you can find that on the web as well. And then we also speak as a speaker and visiting lecturers in universities. So just now, like 2 hours ago, we speak on Finance 730, that media. So we speak on media, we speak on radio, we speak on university, like very often. And yeah, I'm also a columnist on HKET. So yep. So these are some of the screenshots of my previous experience, and I got a banner in HKU as well. Yeah, this is some of my writing on HKET, like the Economic Times of Hong Kong, and yeah, we are featured also on HKEJ in the front page. Okay, so the first thing, so after all that about myself, so it is a bit long, so we're going to talk about like, is AI a bubble or not? So our main theme is about hedging our risk as a human. So here are some statistics. I guess all of you have known about this, so that's the reason you're coming here, right? So I think like now as human as race, we're facing an existential risk, because like in the older generation, being hardworking means everything. So you learn everything, you absorb everything from school, and then you try your very best, and you can gain a very good income and get a really good social status. But I think now in the AI era, this is no longer the case. So here are some statistics. So this is about people's fear in AI. So basically, you can see that a lot of people, they're either scared or like anxious about the AI era because they're thinking that they will get replaced it or even killed by AI, like this one. So yeah, and I think this is very likely as well because there are some Americans also think that they are more concerned rather than excited about the AI development. Yeah, this is from Anthropic, which is a really big AI firm. I think it's one of the best one now. So Anthropic is, I don't know if you have heard about Anthropic, but you might have used their product, which is Claude, Claude 3.7 Sonnet, and now this 4.0 already. So they warn people that within 5 years, AI is going to replace 50% of the job market. So this is a unprecedented disruptive thing. And this is from McKinsey, which is a old brand lasting for decades. And they also claim that because in the older days, McKinsey didn't usually like cut their people, but now they're cutting 10% of their people, which is once in 100 years, so which is really crazy. And it's not only about the traditional jobs, but it's also about some high-paying white-collar jobs as well. Those are also replaced. And yeah, so this is a new statistic from the latest year. So you can see that even Harvard MBA, some of them, they're struggling to find a job as well now. And the headline here states that most of them, even from Harvard or Stanford, more than 10% of them are still waiting to get a job within 3 months of their graduation. Yeah, and there's also some rumors saying that now AI is still evolving, so AGI is coming. And yeah, this is my bold thought, is that I think that we are actually already in AGI. Because previously, I don't know if you've heard about this, but people are getting harsher and harsher on AI. Because originally, this is the definition of AI, whether it is a AGI, is that there's a Turing test, which basically means that if a human and a computer, they try to pretend as a human, and then it see that if the other human can distinguish whether that person is a human or a computer. So the computer try to mask itself as a human. And if you can't distinguish that, then according to this definition, it is AGI already. And this test is already passed by most of the AI now. So yeah, this is about singularity. Is that this is saying about technological advancement, they think that throughout the recent years, the tech advancement is happening much faster, exponentially faster than the previous era, due to the singularity theory. So we think that we are roughly here now, and then it's going to evolve faster and faster. So yeah, so with that being said, we think that we have to hedge our risk as a human. So how do we do so? So this is our second part, which is about how to win in the AI era. So we start the conclusion first. So we think that the conclusion is that in AI, for the future trends, we think that AI will serve as a co-pilot rather than completely replacing human. So I think it's more like party A, party B. So it's like a contractor and a designer. So human acts as the contractor. So we define our user story, and we define what we want to do, the high-level idea. For example, like I want to build a game, then the AI will start to build a game, right? But with that simple sentence of building a game, the AI won't give a really good response. So our task as human is to clearly convey what our task is, and the designer, which is the AI, can give us the good result. So I think the key to distinguish about a good human which can leverage the AI activity is that we have to be a qualified party A. So yeah, clearly conveying the task and instructions to AI is the key to future. Yeah, so this is more about AI, is that because I think that it is already AGI, because previously people claim about AI not being able to solve a lot of questions, especially in some complex domain. But this is alpha geometry, which is designed by Google. And what they did is that they succeed to build an algorithm to solve the hardest IMO questions, so which is International Math Olympics, which is basically the smartest human in the world can solve that problem. And they achieved a gold medal in those competitions as well. So this is about the same thing, which is alpha geometry. And these two are about AlphaFold, and this is about material science. So these two are a really big breakthrough because most of people, we focus on ChatGPT, which we think that that's basically the best innovation in the modern era. But basically people think that this is actually the biggest breakthrough because this thing helps medicine discovery much faster by solving the protein folding problem. So even in scientific field, which is originally known for being complex, and I mean we thought that is irreplaceable because that requires some kind of creativity, that requires some kind of like professionalism and like multidisciplinary skills, but AI is still being able to break that through. So yeah. So about how to win in the AI era. So with that being said, I think you can still think that AI is a bubble, but it is transferring a lot of places already, I think. So we think that to win in AI era, we think that we have to leverage the AI as a human. So what we mean by leveraging is that we have to do it in three ways. So we have to use AI, we have to use AI to learn AI, or even other domains, because AI, we got the ability to transfer learning. We'll talk about that later. And also we can invest in AI as well. Yeah. So here some of my articles about how we use different AI. Because different AI, we have to select the best one on the best two. Because there's different strengths and weaknesses in different models. Yeah, so I think that if you are able to use AI well, then you can gain a huge profit, especially in this era. So there's a thing called one-man unicorn, which means that now for a company, originally you have to have a partner and a bunch of teams in order to form a solid company. But now you can have like all in one, you can do it all by yourself. So yeah, this is what we said just now. So I think this is the key in today's era, which is learn AI, and then we use AI to learn AI, and also we invest in AI. So let's first talk about learning AI. So I think there's, this 1, 2, 3 by the way. So I think there's 3 things about learning AI. So the first thing is application. So we have to learn how to apply AI to different domain. And the second thing is about fundamental. Because by learning fundamental, you can know how to, like, first of all is which AI to use. Second of all is how to use that AI in an efficient way. The third thing is how to use AI. So how to clearly convey your task to the AI and make it give what you desire. Yeah, so this is the degree I study. So I study in the HKU in Applied Artificial Intelligence, which is a rather new degree. I mean, some people call it worthy because originally AI is a thing that you got in master degrees. Now we squeeze everything inside the bachelor degree. So you got a 6-year knowledge squeezed in 4 years, which is supposedly worthy. And so what did we actually learn? We learned about computer science, we learned about mathematics, statistics, and also AI. So it is all in one, because with these 3, computer science, mathematics, and statistics, you get to know about the fundamentals of AI. And then in AI, you learn about application of AI. So you can see in here, this is a leaflet from our bachelor. And you can see that there's, like, we can choose our concentration in the final year. So in the final year, we're going to choose our specified domain to focus on. For example, you got like smart city, neurocognitive science, medicine, business and finance, and technology. So with that chosen, you can like choose your concentration. What it means is that, for example, I choose medicine, then you're focusing on, first of all, you learn about medicine stuff. Second of all is that you learn how AI can be applied to medicine. So I think this thing is going to transcend the whole, not only AI, but like other domain as well, because you got the application as well. Yeah, but even with that being learned, I think that the modern era is evolving too quickly, because this curriculum is designed a few years ago, But a few years ago, you don't got ChatGPT, you don't got Llama, Claude, Anthropic, like Gemini, those stuff. So we have to evolve really quickly to learn and to leverage the current technology as well. So yeah, so this is about using AI to learn AI, because by only learning AI is not fast enough, because it's evolving too quickly. So if you asked me 1 year ago if we will expect what we have today, I would say no, because it's getting crazy now. So I think the second thing is about using AI to learn AI. So this is about transfer learning. First of all is that I think that by using AI to learn AI, it opens up a bunch of random opportunity. So we'll explain that later. And the second thing is about you can use AI to learn AI or even other stuff as well. So AI can serve as your private tutor. So I don't know if you're looking in the stock market as well. In the stock market, there's a meme stock or crazy growing stock now. It's called Duolingo. And that stock, basically, what they do is that they add in AI. And they use AI as a private tutor for learning languages. And that makes their valuation crazy now. And yeah, so using AI to learn other stuff is a really good leverage, I think. The third thing is about AI database. So I don't know if you have watched the movie The Matrix, but it's sort of like creating a digital or a clone self. So you can basically create a common use case is that you can just put all the stuff you have learned throughout your year, and then you use a database to store everything you have, and then you use some technology to make the AI being able to create a seamless response on yourself. So yeah, with that being said, these are some kind of actual application that you can leverage now as an individual. So the first thing is Notebook LM, which is a thing from Google. So what they did is that, so this is an actual application, so we do that day by day actually. So me and Fred, we use that day by day. So for example, in the finance world, we have to watch a bunch of analyst reports. Those analyst reports are basically store or summarize the analyst view in the stock. So, but usually you won't solely believe in one bank. So for example, you have Morgan Stanley, you have Goldman Sachs, you have Jefferies, and they might have different opinions on a single stock. So in original days, you have to, as a portfolio manager, you have to read that one by one, and then you just summarize what they said, and you give your own deduction afterwards. But that costs a lot of time, right? So now you can just simply put all of those in. So for example, you put in JP Morgan, Jefferies, Goldman Sachs reports there, and you can just basically get the summarization and also ask a bunch of questions within that document and just extract the key points from those documents as well. And you can also generate a broadcast. This is a really fun feature, I think, which means that if you're too lazy, you don't want to read 8 reports, you can generate a broadcast that basically there will be 2 AI hosts, they will be talking with each other. And then it's like listening to a radio. So you don't have to 10 minutes radio conclude these 8 long tedious reports. So which is, it really speeds up the task as a portfolio manager. And the second thing is about AI vibe coding. So vibe coding is a new thing, I think, in the recent era. So which is about low no code. We call it no code. So low to no code. So which means that you, as an individual, originally, if you want to build an app, you have to code everything yourself in Python, or in the older days, even more low-level languages. But now, with AI, you can just basically use natural language to do programming. So natural language means English. So basically, you can use English to ask the AI to, for example, you want to build the chart about the semiconductor index on price and volume, and you want to do some modeling, you want to do some quant trading stuff. It's basically a one-liner now, so it costs you maximum 1 minute to finish the whole thing. And this one is about using generative AI for app design. So this is the app we're developing in my AI startup. So basically, we're leveraging AI to do app development as well. So, I mean, for creating a UI UX, originally you have to have the sense of an artist. You have to learn a lot about UI UX. And I don't know if you've watched some funny memes or funny story about a programmer, but it used to be really annoying for you if you want to move For example, you want to move this thing slightly lower or like 1 pixel lower, and it's really hard to modify because there's like conflict between the blocks, and then there's conflict between the code. So it's not that easy to move this thing from here to here or to here. So with AI, it's much easier. So for using AI for app design is also a really good advancement recently. And the fourth thing is about general AI. So in the older days, which we have traditional AI are often statistical based. I mean, now the AI is also statistical based, but the traditional AI, they don't allow, we call it zero shot or few shot learning. So basically you have to feed a huge ton of data in order to ask it to give a moderate response. So, but with the modern AI, generative AI, they have a feature called zero or few shot learning, which means that you don't even have to have that much data, but you can ask AI to give you a really good response as well. So you can even use this generative AI to create some tasks for traditional AI. And also, why we say AI is disruptive is because that it basically replaces lots of people's jobs. So this is, I think this is a really common thing in the previous, like few weeks ago. People like this style of drawing, and basically you can use natural language like English to tune the image slightly. For example, you want Elon Musk, instead of laying in an Amazon factory, you want to swap it to Apple, and then you eat a rotten apple happily. It's just easy. So it replaced the job of like image editor as well. So which is quite scary, I have to say, because this is an advancement made only like 2 weeks, like 2 months ago. So this is about generative AI for workflow automation, which is, I think, is also a big trend right now. So if you have looked into the stock market, this is basically what Palantir do. Palantir is a really high growth, ultra high valuation stock company. So what they did is that, so how they justify that valuation is through workflow automation. So basically, they immerse your whole workflow and then they transform your company into an AI company. So for example, you can precisely know how much depreciated or what is the sharpness of the drill in one of your mine. Like this is very specific, and they basically integrate AI into the workflow to achieve this kind of precision. So yeah, so, or if you're not that sophisticated, you can even explore some easy or fun daily application. For example, fridge. So one of the fun application we've always talked about is that basically, as a housewife, you can take a picture on your fridge, and then you can ask the AI, what food can you make with these ingredients? And it will say, for example, you have tomato, you have egg, then you can make tomato and egg. So yeah, it's really useful even as an individual that is not like, you don't want to do programming, you don't want to create your own app, but it just helps in your daily life as well. Yeah, so you can also use generative AI to do traditional AI and also other automation that originally require manual work in your day-to-day workflow. Yeah, or you can even do AI due diligence. Oh yeah, so these are some other applications I've did previously, which is about, for example, you can use generative AI to create a mental health pre-diagnosis bot, or yeah, some other application as well. Yeah, and this is rather funny because this is about, so I used to study in Iceland for an exchange study, and then it is in a random place. I met a professor from that university, and then that professor told us that they have an opportunity on a fish classification project. So what it does is that basically we went to Icelandic rivers, and then in that river there's a gate that people put the camera inside, and then they want to track using AI on how to predict the survivability and also the how much fish and how is the population of each of the fish species inside the Icelandic fish in the Icelandic river. And yeah, basically I think that with AI it opens up a bunch of opportunity for you, because I mean fish is not even close to my daily life or my whole career or my whole life experience, but with AI, somehow I got a cross-domain experience for fish classification, and we also worked that out with the Icelandic government and also their marine life organization. Yep. So this is another application which is up now. It's called Deep Research. So what it does basically is that it gives you a really detailed research report, which is basically it gives you a market research basically. So for example, you want to research in something and you have no ground on it previously, and you can just ask AI to give you a really comprehensive analysis report, and you can just learn everything really fast because you can quickly get a 8-page long paragraph, and then you can just drill in the specific points about that towards AI as well. So it gives you a comprehensive summary first, and then you just drill in the specific part deeper. So yeah, so back to here, our third use case is about investing in AI, because I think AI is going to replace 99% of human population. So I'm not that confident to become that 1% actually. So I think that investing in AI also help us to hedge our risk as a human. And I think there's 3 things about investing in AI. So the first thing is that AI knowledge itself helps us to do investment as well. So for example, we're investing in some new domain. For example, I'm investing in semiconductor, which is, originally it's really hard to acquire knowledge for semiconductor because there's a bunch of crazy jargons and and then you got a bunch of compounds like silicon carbide or like a bunch of stuff. So, or in our previous discussion just now, whether like the 時代 is a word by. So this is, it's hard to know because, if you don't have that domain-specific knowledge, then it's hard to know those stuff about investment. So you miss a lot of opportunity. But now with AI, you can just basically you can be a generalist and get exposed to a lot more domain as you previously can. And the second thing is that we can invest in AI to hedge our risk as a human, because I think that AI is going to replace the whole, at least 90% of the job market. I don't know if it's going to create some new job as well, but what if we're unemployed? So investing in AI basically help you gain some alpha even you're unemployed. And the third thing is about investing ourselves and also the next generation into AI, because I think AI is going to leverage everything we're doing. And also, we think that learning AI is really worthy because learning AI also helps us to do investment. So this is basically the secret recipe we are doing in our fund day-to-day workflow. So first, we do fundamental research, which is what most other funds do. So we read into those 3 balance sheet, and we read into cash flow statement, we read into income statement, those 3 statements, to analyze the company's financial health and its long-term and short-term development. And the second thing we do is that we read in some academic researches, because we think that now the market is leading by Max Effort, right? And Max Effort is basically leading by AI. So we found out that academic researchers often front run the whole industry or the stock market's performance by half to 1 year. So we use AI as well to learn from those academic papers that talk about the breakthrough in some technology domain, and we analyze whether this thing is going to transcend or make specific companies' performance become better or worse. So for example, previously, I think we noticed DeepSeek in November because of academic researches, because it wasn't a thing to the stock market until DeepSeek is known by the public. So through academic researches, it helps us to gain alpha as well, and AI helps us to do academic researches. And the third thing is about quant tools or algorithms, because AI can help us also on detecting market movement and also smart money's reaction. And then we can know when the market price in this stuff that we saw in the academic researches previously. So basically you can see that AI can be used in the first step, which we illustrated just now using NotebookLM. You can read those, a bunch of analyst report, and you can do summarization. You can learn about those reports really quickly to learn about the fundamental of that company. And then you can also see that AI is going to replace at least help you on academic researches, because it helps you understand, it gives you the background knowledge, and it gives you that ground if you don't have that originally. And the third thing is that AI is going to help us in quant as well. So at least in the finance industry, AI is going to transcend everything. So where to position ourselves? So I guess this is very much worried by most of the parents about Trump, about versus Harvard University. In fact, we also heard a friend of us talking about, it's not only about Harvard, but the US universities, all of them, basically stopped to interview international students recently. So it is becoming increasingly concerning about the whole geographical instability. So we think that so my own thought is that, first of all, is that you have to pick the university first, beyond picking a major, because I think that it's hard to find a major that is not at risk in the AI era. I mean, we originally thought that the people that create AI is not going to be replaced by AI, but turns out programmer is the first person that is going to be replaced by AI. So, so I think it's just a matter of time. So every major, I think, is going to be replaced by AI. So for university, it just affects the network and resources you have in that place. And second thing is that I think that interdisciplinary and self-driven learning is needed. And if you can get a double major or minor, it is a plus, because it basically helps you to gain multiple knowledge, and you can merge them, and you can just build something extra from that. And yeah, exploring different opportunities as well, and flexibility as well, because originally you might learn, for example, you learn in finance, and now you can see how AI can be applied into finance as well. So it's not only a single domain, but you also look into how the modern technology can help you further develop on that domain as well. And I think that this is actually I should put it in the first point, but programming sense and automation mindset is really important, because I think that by learning applied AI, the best thing it gives me is not about the knowledge itself, because I mean, with the current ChatGPT advancement, it is basically, it's not outdated, but it's not that close to our world right now already. So I think that, but it gives me more of a programming sense and automation mindset. What it means is that I will now think about, for example, I have a day-to-day task. I'll think about how I can leverage my programming skills to do automation, to do programming, to help me to lower my day-to-day like tedious workflow, and by using AI. So we have to know what are the stuff that AI can do and what are the limitations, and how we can make AI to create the stuff we want it to do. Yeah, so this is the final slides. So yeah, we think that AI is evolving too quickly now, so yeah, we have to hedge our risk as a human. So yeah, this is the end. Thanks.
Great. Well, thank you, Owen. And up next, just one second. Let me see. How do I get back to Miss Alice? Hi, Miss Alice. I need to make sure that we get on here. Hi, can you hear us?
Yeah, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, just wondering if everyone can hear Miss Alice. How do I view speaker? Okay, yeah, now we got you. Okay, so I will pass it to you, Miss Alice, to tell all of us. Actually, we have a full room here with everyone on your view on.
Hello.
Yeah, how is this trade war AI going to impact from your view? Miss Alice currently, she is in Portugal, but she used to be in Hong Kong, and then she moved back to UK, and then now she's helping us with tutoring and additional consulting.
Thank you very much. Hello everyone, good evening. I'm going to just get straight into it. Today we stand at a critical inflection point in global education, where geopolitics is no longer a backdrop but a defining force. The US and China trade war, once confined to tariffs and tech, is now rippling across university campuses, disrupting the academic trajectories of millions of students welcoming. Institutions like MIT, Stanford, and yes, Harvard found themselves caught in the crossfire. And the result is students and families are no longer looking only at rankings. They're weighing stability, safety, career prospects, and the political climate. Europe, Canada, Australia, the UK, increasingly Asia, including Hong Kong and Singapore, are emerging as alternative hubs for world-class education. So, Donald Trump's broad attacks on elite US universities, particularly those admitting Chinese students into sensitive STEM fields, have reignited fears. When his team threatened to bar Chinese nationals from top US research institutions, what have been colloquially dubbed the Harvard ban, the event was swift and global. The students began re-evaluating their options, not out of preference but necessity. For students from mainland China and Hong Kong, this ban signals something more profound, a potential decoupling of educational exchange and talent mobility between the world's two largest economies. The strategic pivot. Hong Kong stepped in. The remarkable twist, Hong Kong universities have stepped into the void. Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, for example, has opened its doors to students affected by the US restrictions, and in some cases, offering unconditional admissions to high-achieving applicants. This is not just a recruitment move. This has become a geopolitical pivot. By positioning itself as a safe harbor for ambitious students, Hong Kong is reshaping the region's academic map. So, my advice on navigating, this is like a 5-point overview, and I'm going to drill down on what I think we really can do. As an educational advisor, I've worked with students and with families, particularly in Hong Kong, from 3-year-olds right up to 18, and I still tutor university students now. And so for me personally, it's all about clear instructions. We've got to prepare globally and we have to plan strategically. So that means diversifying your applications. So let's look at schools in the UK. Let's look at schools in Canada, Hong Kong, Australia, and Europe. Rankings matter, but not like they did before, because stability and future visa pathways, I believe, should weigh equally in your decisions. So now's the time to embrace flexibility. We can encourage your child to consider hybrid or dual degree programs that offer cross-border mobility and career adaptability. Prioritizing language and digital skills. Fluency in English, Mandarin, and digital literacy are now essential currencies in a shifting global economy. And we need to look at evaluating career trends. Industries like AI, climate tech, fintech, biotech are evolving fast. So we need to choose universities with strong industry links and global employer recognition. So because education is no longer just about academic excellence, it's become about geopolitical awareness, career resilience, and strategic foresight. The US-China trade war may have disrupted the traditional university trajectory, but my humble opinion, it's also opened up new global possibilities. That is, for families wanting to adapt, this could very well be a moment of reinvention and not just disruption. So what I've done is I looked at a parent-focused 5-point highlight of what we can do. So if you look like 4 different pathways to university in Canada, Australia, the UK, and in Europe. And I'm going to explain why a multipolar higher ed world can actually give you and the next generation graduation, which is then prized by employees globally. The government skills list guarantee your child's major maths directly to in-demand jobs, which is great. Then we move to Australia. Australia has a group of 8 and skills-driven migration. Research-intensive group of 8 that go 8 universities. Asia-Pacific proximity equals booming tech and climate science funding of the government and the transparent PR for the system. The key university hubs are Melbourne, Sydney, ANU, UNSW, Queensland, Monash, Adelaide and UWA. The post-study visas remain among the longest globally as 2 to 6 years by degree level discipline. There's an extra 2-year extension introduced in 2023 for shortage fields, and that continues in 2025. So this is really good. There's good news. So this means for you, the degrees built around industry placement terms, because that's internships in fintech, medtech, and renewable energy. And there's clear skilled occupation lists. So that means for the pathways, there's less uncertainty about staying on to work. Then we have elite brands evolving rules. Globally recognised, the Russell Group and Oxbridge brand equity. There's a dense and online employer networks across Europe and the Commonwealth. The key universities: Oxford, Cambridge, Imperial, LSE, UCL, Edinburgh, Manchester, Bristol, Warwick, Durham. The graduate route survived the 2024 review, and that's remained unchanged for 2 years. Policy is in flux, yet the top UK degrees retain high return on interest and portable prestige. The UK 1-year masters means it's lower cost and faster re-entry into the workforce. Even if the graduate route shortens, skill shortages, visas, that's for healthcare, tech nation routes, still give graduates targeted stay options. And then for Europe, many programs in Europe are taught in English. There's a nominal or zero tuition in several countries, and there is the EU Labour Mobility Scheme. There's great universities in the Netherlands, Germany, France, Sweden, and graduates get 12 to 18 months to job hunt and then transition to their European Blue Card, which is a fast-track residency permit for skilled hires. Germany has a very relaxed salary threshold, making STEM graduates especially competitive. Universities in Europe is low cost. German public universities charge only €300 to €700 per semester, and the EU Blue Card grants the right to live or work across 25 countries after 18 months residence, which means the ultimate geographic flexibility. So, I think the future is bright, and I think so because you can, if we use these 3 macro trends to work with your child. 1, a multi-campus degree and dual credentials. So, for example, you can have twin campuses across continents, letting students split semesters between Asia, Europe, and even North America. 2, the government talent bids. Heightened global skills competition means that countries sweeten post-study visas even as they cap more enrollments. Canada has targeted GWP, Australia's Go-A pilot, and Germany's lower blue card salary floor. 3, top schools now embed IBM, Google, Amazon cloud certificates inside bachelor's curricula, giving graduates market-ready badges alongside the degree. So, this is my action checklist for you, the parents. Step 1. Let's build a diversified shortlist. Anadam, Anglosphere, PR pathway and skills lists. So then you convert the degree into a 5 to 10 year career plan, not just 3 to 4 years of study, which I think gives you a bit of security. 3, prioritise experiential learning. The co-op, industrial year, Erasmus, Go 8 internships, and obviously accessing AI with this, workplace experience and employer references. Although it's different with the increase of AI, but it still holds 50% of graduate employability scores. Develop bilingual, trilingual and digital fluency. And then always have a budget for mental health and resilience support, because cross-border moves are stressful. Strong well-being services keep students on track. And so my final thought is, in a fragmented world, agility, I believe, is prestige as well as AI. By encouraging your child to view admissions through a global policy.
Connection problem.
Hello?
Oh, yeah,
Sorry.
hi, sorry, got some connection problem.
And so we want to ensure that they graduate not just with a degree, but with adaptable skills, multiple residency options, and a network that spans continents.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Great. Well, thanks, Miss Alice. And maybe now I'll also invite Owen back. The screen's freeze again. Oops. Anyway, well, we have like limited time. Maybe like I'll see if anyone has any question first. I guess like normally everyone is very shy, right? Anyway, it's okay. Maybe I think Miss we lost Miss Alice again. Hello. Maybe not. Well, maybe I'll just like address the question to Owen then. Yes, sorry, you're the target. So, like say for example, like, I think most of us here are parents, right? And for our kids, in our advisory, academic consulting, we normally tell the parents that, oh, just let the kids to go with the passion, right? And but the kids is like my son, he's like, oh, I love sports, I want to study sports science. I'm like, okay, so what are you gonna do? You will earn like $10,000 monthly salary from the Hong Kong government if you become a sportsman. So like, and like he's like, oh, maybe I'll teach an AI to like let some robot to play some ball games, or maybe to work with something, right? So what would be your advice to the kids or to our parents right now, how to balance between pursuing your passion versus like making money, surviving in this AI world?
Oh. First of all, is that I think that currently in today's era, following your passion, because following your passion is no longer that not profit gaining anymore. I think compared to the previous era. Because for example, if you're doing sports science, right? So you can think in an AI mindset is that, so previously you have sports science, then your only career path is towards being an athlete or nutritionist or even a personal trainer in the gym or whatsoever, in Pure maybe. So your career path is quite limited. And now with AI, it like unlock your possibility in a way that, for example, you can use AI if you're interested in sports science. Previously, if you want to create an app yourself, it's not possible because you don't have that skill set, so you need a programming skill set. And now you can just basically use AI to create that sports science, using your sports science domain knowledge, which is your edge, right? So basically it's your specialty. And you can use that knowledge to gain a good money all by yourself, by programming or like creating an app, or even other ways that you can combine different stuff. For example, imagine you can create a workflow. So first of all is that you let the user create an app, and then you can take a picture on what you eat, and you calculate the calories, you calculate the protein in your daily diet, and then you use your domain knowledge from sports science, and then you give them a detailed training routine for them, and then, for example, you get a catches jargon as well, like gain you 6 packs in 1 week. So I think there's a really good leverage on your original passion only, not profit gaining knowledge already through the AI.
Okay, great. Well, I think Miss Alice maybe she lost,
I think
just lost
she's
her
gone.
connection. No, but that's okay. So I think for most of us here, it's like, we have kids that who are not yet in college.
Mhm.
So what should our kids do to get them ready for this AI era? Because I think I just can't let my son keep playing board games, right? He needs like something else. So what is your recommendation of what they should learn and what they should do?
Oh, actually, my way is a bit special because I was originally studying AI, right? But my career is in finance, so how do I swap my career suddenly? So I think it's more about forced, because if you're forced to speak for example, you're forced to speak in public, you're forced to speak on media, then you don't want to be so ugly, right? If you're like suddenly shocked and you don't know what to say, then you're forced to learn something. So I think it's the same in AI era. So basically, if you're forced to, for example, you have to speak to public, and then you have to speak on media about a specific topic which you don't have enough knowledge previously, then the only way to go is through AI, I think. So it's basically
Oh, I think maybe Miss Alice is back on.
yeah, I guess so.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi, Miss Alice.
Hi.
Hi, sorry we lost you.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know about AI and everything, but if you can't get a connection.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we just had our first question. Yeah, we just had our first question that we also maybe want to get your view as well, is that should our kids still pursue their passion? Because it seems like in this AI world, if according to Owen and his prediction is that 90% of the jobs will be gone, right? So if our kids go without passion, then they may not be able to support themselves.
Oh, goodness,
I think our
do I
kids
answer as
should
an educator,
pursue our
or what do I
passion.
I
say?
think so.
More
I think
important
so as
in
well.
the AI world.
Yeah.
Because all the jobs will be gone, all the knowledge will be gone. University is not important because but the way that your critical thinking, not just using AI to get the knowledge or to digest information, but to know how to ask the correct questions or how to analyze or be critical is the key. So you don't even need to study sports science or to create an app for sports science because everyone can do it now. Or maybe 5 years old can do that. But your passion, and your interpersonal skills, this cannot be replaced by AI.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. Yes. Yeah. Well, I do think that having the kids to pursue the passion is very important, and with a balance of what to do. I think that the drive actually is more important, right? How to actually motivate the kids to find what they actually want to do, how they can make an impact to the world, etc., right? So
More self-driven.
yeah, I think the drive is like the most important in this AI world right now. And maybe also Miss Alice, my second question is that so how to get
Yes.
our kids ready, what should they do, what should they learn, other than what they're passionate, right? Say for example, if the kids are interested in maybe playing chess, playing sports or playing violin, right? So is there anything extra that you think we need to equip them, or how to make them get ready for the AI world, and especially with the trade war of all the other countries that you mentioned, right? How to help them, to assist them to search for what is right for them.
I think for me, the students that I've helped get, they've all got into their I have 100% success rate to their first choice, which I'm really proud of. But that's also because it's all about finding what everyone's gold is, what's inside them, what's their passion. And if I've understood correctly, and I'm trying to understand AI and how I can leverage it as a human myself. And for me, I'm going to give it all of the stuff that I don't want to do if I can
I can hear
Yeah.
you, but just that we lost the
Sorry,
video.
someone's calling me. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, so I think that passion is the most important thing still. I really do. And so developing all of these other skills as you go along, but making sure that then when you're coming to whatever decision you make your child makes for their future, that they've got extra things on top that shows that they're passionate about it. That they haven't just gone to AI to find out all of the things, that they have human experience of it as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay, well,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think great answer. So, I guess like we're about time to, draw to a close, and thank you everyone for attending this, and then thank you Miss Alice, thank you Owen, for sharing your thoughts on AI and like different countries and different opportunities on in higher
Yes.
education. Great, okay, thanks everyone. Okay, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you, thank you.係啊，誒，好，你好，多謝多謝多謝啊，係啊，唔係，我哋自己要多啲嘅係嘢啦，係啊，咁樣，我同小朋友四聲，可以同唔開口？Thank you 啊，
我係代表嚟。
我知你係代表，係啊
PPA 代表啊，
係啦，我哋可以再
聽下啦，
傾下偈，睇下有啲咩。
可以請下
係啊，交流下。
Vision Year 其實係，不過佢
我
揀
知啊，
咗七個
係啊，所以我哋要跟你學嘢啊。
快
指點下，指導下，真係。
咁要請教
要收下錢都可以，因為佢要
我知啊，咁我拎到整到我整咧，啲班整出嚟時我試咁樣。
即係佢哋係
official
嘅 official 嘅，即係入你先去 hack 佢，睇下唔同
唔係，如果咧佢
整到香港，
即係佢 open up 個 floor 就係你嚟係佢之前
喺香港係啦，因為
即係我哋好細個有用專係俾人 register，
即係
攞 free email box 嘅，咁啊我哋好明顯招來。